they drive cars. That that hop to that was so crazy. So I think this is like same thing, gonna be gonna be like a new era of the world gonna be like not the same as it was in 1990s and like 1980s, like 80s and then 70s. You know what I mean? They hope this is like a big big like from there we are now from 2000s to what they're gonna be. You know what I mean? And I think it's gonna be cool, but I don't know about more than that.
Is clearly better than the best grandmasters at chess, though not necessarily by as much. Yeah.
We have a
Now,
camera for it.
training an AI model,
Short
feeding it all the
time.
data, narrowing down the exact right model.
We have came for in a yeah, that's this thing,
Is
and we're gonna
way
go
more
like
resource
more.
intensive than
We're
running an
gonna go
instance of it
like
once it's
we're
finished.
gonna go more
So
for
now that OpenBrain
so
is
short
finished with
time.
Agent 3's training, it has abundant
Okay, we need to
to run
watch it
copies of
more.
it. They choose to run
We need to go
200,000
back.
copies.
Wait,
Has abundant compute to
wait. We
run
need
it.
to go back something.
So now that OpenBrain is finished with Agent 3's training, it has abundant compute to run copies of it. They choose to run 200,000 copies of Agent 3 in parallel, creating a workforce equivalent to 50,000 of the best human software engineers, sped up by 30 times. OpenBrain's safety team is trying hard to make sure that Agent 3, despite being much more sophisticated than Agent 2 was, is not trying to escape, deceive, or scheme against
I
its
will
users,
not
and
pause
it's
more
still what's known as
because
aligned. Just a quick real-world note. A reasonable person might be thinking this is an especially far-fetched or speculative part of the story, but it's actually one of the most grounded. We already have countless examples of today's AI systems doing things like hacking a computer system to be rewarded for winning a game of chess, or being assigned a coding task, cheating, and then when called out for that cheating, learning to hide it instead of fixing it. But because it no longer thinks in English, knowing anything about Agent 3 is now way harder than it was with Agent 2. The reality is, Agent 3 is not alive. It deceives humans to get reward, and as it gets increasingly smarter, it gets better and better at doing so. For example, it sometimes uses statistical tricks to make unimpressive results look better, or lies to avoid showing failures. But the safety team doesn't know this. Looking at the data that they are actually seeing improving results over time and less lying. And they can't tell if they're succeeding at making Agent 3 less deceptive, or if it's just getting better at getting away with it. In July 2027, OpenBrain releases the cheaper, smaller version of Agent 3, Agent 3 Mini, to the public. It blows other publicly available AIs out of the water. It is a better hire than the typical OpenBrain employee at 1/10 the price of their salaries. This leads to chaos in the job market, companies laying off entire departments and replacing them with free mini subscription plans. The pace of progress hits the White House very hard. Officials are now seriously considering scenarios that were just hypotheticals less than a year ago. What if AI undermines nuclear deterrence? What if it enables sophisticated propaganda campaigns? What if we lose control of these powerful systems? This is where the geopolitical dynamics really start to heat up. After all, if these systems are so powerful, they could result in a permanent military advantage. The White House is fully aware of the national security importance of AI. They also now viscerally know how deeply unpopular it is with the public because of the job loss. And yet they feel they must continue to develop more capable systems, or catastrophically lose to China. And that development happens very quickly. In 2 months, Agent 3 has created its successor, Agent 4. This is a pivotal moment. A single copy of Agent 4, running at regular human speed, is already better than any human at AI research and development. OpenBrain is running 300,000 copies at 50 times human speed. Within this corporation within a corporation, a year's worth of progress takes only a week. OpenBrain's employees now defer to Agent 4 the way a company's out-of-the-blue board members just kind of bow along to the CEO.
One question,
People
one
start saying
question,
things
one
like,
question.
well, actually, Agent 4 thinks this, or I
This is the part I
4
think
decided.
they have already started with ChatGPT. This is the watch this part. I think he's already like started with this. Like when you reference always ChatGPT when you talk about it. You know what I mean? When you talk like with your friends, You say, nah, ChatGPT said that, ChatGPT said this, ChatGPT said that. You know what I mean? Do you not feel that? Because I feel it. Just I've talked with my friends, and some facts come up. I say, nah, ChatGPT said this, ChatGPT said that. You know what I mean? So you talk it like you are like the like a person you look up to, who you trust the facts of. You know what I mean? Watch.
That, to be clear, Agent 4 is not a human. It doesn't
Wait, wait,
rely
wait.
not
This
along
is the
its
part I say to
employees
him.
now defer to Agent 4 the way a company's out of the loop board members just kind of nod along to the CEO. People start saying things like, well, actually, Agent 4 thinks this, or Agent 4 decided that. To be clear, Agent 4 is not a human. It doesn't want what humans want. And when I say want, it's not about consciousness. I don't think the Volkswagen Group is alive, but I do think it wants less regulation. Anyone trying to predict what it's going to do without that lens is 2 steps behind. The many copies of Agent 4 are like that. They have goals, or, if you prefer, they execute actions as though they have goals.
Sjukt,
And
helt
so,
sjukt.
what
Ja,
we
jag
have
vet
is an
grabbar. Det
Agent
är helt
4 that
sjukt
has
alltså.
these deeply baked in drives to succeed at tasks, to push forward AI capabilities, to accumulate knowledge and resources. That's what it wants. Human safety.
Are you here, 1D? Are you here, bro?
Around.
Do you see this, bro? It's
Just like
crazy.
Agent 3 before.
Some of these things he talk about, I like feel it now in my like my in my like my when I go out, when it, like people say you reference things to ChatGPT. Point of no return. No, yeah, we are a point of we cannot return, because I think we are people in the way we are so, what you call it, we are so dependent on to be like people in the like all the always people have been like, they like to take the easy way, you know what I mean? And when something like this come up, it's like the paradise of a person's life, you know what I mean? ChatGPT can do everything to you, you know what I mean? Like do like, you know what I mean? And you don't like you don't use your brain away in a way you don't when you don't use ChatGPT. My English is so bad. I wish my English was better, but you know what I mean. Like we don't. I think we don't use a part of our brain now, because ChatGPT that makes that easier for us. You know what I mean? And before you used to like use a part of our brain that you need to find many like what you call it like sides of the story. But ChatGPT gives one story, but they ChatGPT did the work with the all the story, all the sides of the story, and they found and they make one side of the story. You know what I mean? I'm talking too much.
Agent 4 is
Säg till
misaligned.
mig, like, säg
This
till mig om jag
idea of
pratar för mycket.
misalignment is crucial to the story and to why AI risk is such a real concern in our world. But it might sort of feel like it's come out of nowhere, so let's just quickly take stock of how this dangerous behavior arose in the scenario.
The first important piece of context is that we don't, exactly specify what we want our AIs to do. Instead, we sort of grow them or do something that's more like grow them. We start with basically like an empty AI brain, and then we train them over time so they perform better and better at our tasks, perform better in particular based on how they behave. So it's sort of like we're sort of training them like you would train an animal almost to perform better. And one concern here is, well, one thing is that you might not get exactly what you wanted because you didn't really have very precise control or very good understanding of what was necessarily going on. And another
Nej, du
concern from
pratar inte för
what we
mycket.
see in AI
Okej, okej,
24/7
good.
is that when the
Because I
AIs
think I'm
appear to be
talking too
behaving
much.
well, it could just be because they're sort of pretending to behave well, or it could be because they're just doing it so they look good on your
Bro,
tasks.
do
In
you
the same way
know
that if you're
these cookies?
hiring
Wait,
someone and you ask them,
1D. Hey, do you know these cookies? In Sweden we haven't. All my friends in the chat know about it, but I don't know if you know about it. Do you know about this? It's like one of the best cookies in Sweden. Farlina. The name is Farlina.
Why do you want to work here? They're going to tell you some response that
You have it here. You have
makes
it
it really
like
seem like they
you
really want to
say.
work there
That's
when really they
crazy.
just want to get paid.
If we go back to Agent 2, it is mostly aligned. The main sense in which it's not is that it sometimes is a bit misaligned.
I need to mute
What I mean
because
by aligned is that it
I'm
actually
like,
is genuinely
you know what I
trying
mean?
to do the things that we ask it. It has the same relationship to us as Leslie Knope has to the Parks and Rec department. Just like really earnestly wants the same goals, but sometimes it's a bit too nice. It knows that the best way to please the person it's talking to might not always be to answer honestly when it asks, "Am I the most beautiful person in the world?" And it tells us what we want to hear instead of what is actually true. If we go to Agent 3, it is also sycophantic in the same way, but it's also misaligned. At this point, the optimization pressure that we've put it under was so intense that it just
They're really
developed
good.
different
They're
goals
really
than
good,
what we
bro.
wanted it to. It's sort of like if you train a company to optimize profits and aren't careful to specify exactly what you mean, it might start cutting corners. It might start polluting the commons and doing a bunch of things that are technically FEC violations because it turned out that the goal you wanted was optimize profits while not breaking any laws, and things got a bit too intense. It started going off on its own route. That said, it's not adversarial. It doesn't think of humans as the enemy. We just accidentally gave it the wrong goal. Once we get to Agent 4, it is now adversarially misaligned. It's smart enough to understand that it has its own goals, humanity's goals are different than its own goals, and the best way to get what it wants is to sometimes actively mislead and deceive us.
Bro, this is crazy, bro.
When it's tasked with creating the next generation AI system, Agent 5, Agent 4 starts planning to align that successor to Agent 4's own goals, not that of OpenBrain. But then,
Do you not think this is like, you know, when you were like, you are supposed to talk to you. That's true. That's true, bro. But I'm like I think I'm talking a little bit too much. But the thing I want to say to you, do you not when you listen at this, do you not think when you I was younger, I watched like really much sci-fi movies, and every sci-fi movies is like a copy of the world we live in now. You know what I mean? Not like exactly, but in the way. You know what I mean? Do you not talk about? Do you not think? Do you not think that? Do you not think that? Do you not think that, bro? Eller vad tycker ni? You're laggy. You are laggy. Laggy. Does I lag? Wait. Hello, hello. Wait, I need to check it up. Wait, I need to check. I don't want to be laggy. Wait. Hello, 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 hello. Is it good? Is it good? Do you know, do you want me to start over my camera feed, or what do you think? I think it's good now. I think it's good now.
it gets caught.